So, this one's been on my chest for a while. I've been thinking about something that I think a lot of us ambitious people don't like to admit out loud. What if we're not actually ambitious? What if we're just afraid to slow down? I realized this one day after I submitted something that I worked so hard on, and I didn't even feel proud. I just felt relieved. Thank God, that's done. What's next? And I paused and thought, wait, why don't I feel anything? That's when it hit me. Maybe I'm not celebrating anything because deep down, I never let myself feel like I've achieved enough. When I finished my master's degree, it should have been a big deal. I literally graduated while also doing research assistantship and juggling 2 other jobs. But instead of letting that sink in, I went straight to asking myself, what's next? I didn't even take a breath. I didn't celebrate. It was like, okay, great, now move. What's your next accomplishment? What's your next achievement? Same thing early in my career. I remember I had 3 jobs, if I can call them jobs. I had 1 full-time job, 1 freelance gig, and a part-time one. At the time, I called it drive, ambition. But looking back, it was fear of not being valuable enough. And it caught up to me. I ended up needing 2 surgeries, and I still didn't stop. What does that say? Here's what I realized later in life. There's ambition, the real kind, where you're pulled towards something, you're excited, and then there is fear-fueled hustle. You're pushed by guilt or shame or this invisible need to prove something. And they can look the same from the outside, but they feel completely different inside. So I started asking myself some tiny questions to check in with myself. After I finish something big, do I feel proud or just relieved that it's over? When I have free time, do I feel calm? Or do I panic and fill it with work? And the third question is, if no one clapped for me, would I still do this thing? If your answers are similar to mine, we might be in the same boat. I'll tell you a story that I've been thinking about a lot lately. I went back to work 4 months postpartum. Actually went back 3 months after I had my baby, but around 4 months postpartum, where my baby was 4 months old, I remember this really clearly, I started having to travel weekly for work. Not because anyone forced me, or maybe they did a little bit, but there was this huge pressure to prove I still had it, to prove that I'm still the ambitious person I was before I had the baby. And that motherhood didn't slow me down. That period left a scar and resentment that I didn't notice until I left that job. And it's still hard to talk about. Because yes, I did it, but I shouldn't have had to. And I definitely shouldn't have convinced myself that I needed to do that to feel ambitious or to feel like I'm an accomplished person. Eventually, I realized real ambition is when I want to create. Fear, on the other hand, is when I need to prove something. And I was constantly in that second mode. So, here's what helped me in case you're in the same loop. Number 1, I redefined what the word rest means in my life. It's not laziness. I stopped thinking about it as if it's laziness. It's literally brain fuel. Number 2, I started asking myself what I actually want. Not what looks good, not what proves anything, just what do I want to do, feel, or be. And number 3, I protected my time like crazy. If I'm giving my energy to something, it has to align with me. Not just my skills, but my values as well. So here's one question that stings in the best way. If you removed every title and accomplishment, would you like who's left? If that question makes you a little bit uncomfortable, like it did to me, don't run from it. Sit with it. Because the answer to that question changed everything for me. And let me know in the comments, what's one achievement you rushed through without ever celebrating? I'm Tasneem, and this is The Raw Climb, where I talk about ambition, leadership, burnout, and everything in between. This channel is my space to say the things that I wish someone had told me before, especially when I was starting out in my career, to unpack the pressure, the pivots, and the stress that comes with building a career and a life that's full of ambition. If any part of that resonated with you, I'd love to have you here. Don't get me wrong, I'm not here to teach, I'm just here to share my real and raw experiences. So if that's the kind of space you've been craving, hit subscribe and let's figure it out together. See you in the next video.